Welcome to my vlog for my Seattle trip. I went to Seattle for a couple weeks. So here's some of the pictures and videos and stuff that I took on the trip. So here's little Susie in my luggage bag. She seemed to like it in there, even though I was trying to pack. I decided to take my Ken Halloween costume and the Hulk Hogan slippers Andrew bought me for my birthday. Yeah, so I took the Via from Kingston to Toronto, and on it there was this sticker. I would agree that people that own dogs, that is a disability owning a dog. And so then once I got to Toronto, got on another train, a bus, and I stayed at an Airbnb in Mississauga. It's pretty nice. Here's my room. I only stayed there one night, and then next morning went to the airport to fly out to Vancouver, and then I connected from Vancouver down to Seattle. So this is the restaurant I was eating at for breakfast. I got a grilled cheese with an egg on it. Interesting experience. I'd probably never get it again, but it was interesting. I like grilled cheese, one of the best foods of all time. Here's my view on the plane. So I didn't really get a TV, a screen in front of me. I had decent leg room, and there's somebody else's leg on the side. But yeah, I had to watch the TVs of the people in front of me because I didn't actually have my own because I got the extra leg row, which apparently doesn't have a TV. This is Seattle. This is the One Rail. This is kind of how you get everywhere in Seattle. There's the line that you can take. So I think it was like 5 stops between my Airbnb in Seattle and the venues that I was going to for the International 2023 Dota 2 tournament. This is the Airbnb in Seattle. It was very nice, actually. I had a little workroom. It's a nice bathroom, nice colors. So here's the Seattle Convention Center. This is the first weekend of TI. This is where it was held. They had a lot of cool art pieces outside. I got a hot dog, and I FaceTimed with Riley, and she was showing me Susie, so I took some screenshots. Yeah, so Seattle is a very political city, which is interesting. I don't really know its history, but 21st century slavery, so there's clearly some economic stuff going on there. Stop Cop City. There's a lot of Black Lives Matter, but it was also a very open city in terms of LGBT stuff. So yeah, like I said, I don't really know the history of the city, but it was intriguing seeing all this around and kind of just figuring, what's the history here, because it seems like there's a lot of it. Got some cool flags, but they also had some, typical patriotism, USA, USA type stuff. So that's probably non-ironically floating up there. Hashtag replace all national flags with human rights flags. So aside from the cult of patriotism, there's also some other cults, the Scientology Church, the Catholic Church, Church of God in Christ. So there's quite a few cults in Seattle. So here's the convention center inside. There's Slacks doing some promo bits. He's bald. I don't know if he's actually bald, but I think he's balding and he's shaved. I think somebody like Pyrian is actually bald. Yeah, so this is the stage just coming in. There's the soundproof booths. So the teams are kind of facing each other as they play, and there's the Aegis, the fucking trophy, the one that everybody wants. There's where the you can see up there, that's where the talent go to do their work up top there on their couches, and they have some screens set up and whatnot. And here are the winners of the 2021 International who lifted the Aegis 2 years ago, looking to do it again because back then they didn't have a crowd. It was during COVID, and so they never actually got the chance to lift it in front of people. The only international where there wasn't a crowd. So I think they were eager to get a repeat victory and lift it in front of everybody. Yeah. So here's VP and Spirit. Game 2, game 2 or 3, it's hard to tell. I think it's game 2, because VP surprisingly took the first game. Everybody thought, Spear went 10-0 in groups. They were going to go 2-0 in this, but no. VP kind of showed up this tournament, honestly. Here's the crowd at the convention center. There's a lot of Chinese fans. So anytime a Chinese team was about to come on, they all crowd around. There's Arteezy. Howie 2000, or IQ 2000, as people say. Trent, Lyrical, Rezo. Rezo was cool. He was a super chill guy. Sheever, Fear. I got Slacks to take this of me, and he took one of himself. I didn't ask him to do that. I should have deleted that picture immediately, but I kept it. There's me taking pictures, zoomed in pictures of Slacks as he's moving around the arena. Here's one of Jenkins' mods who recognized me from the TI-11 Last Chance qualifier streams. Blitz, Tsunami with his beautiful beard, Sheepstick, Nati, Dondo, Trent again, Snare, Fly. I gave him some movie recommendations. I don't know. He probably won't watch them, but it's okay. I told him watch Twin Peaks, and he said, "Oh, Sumail likes that." So, maybe I'll check it out. There's Effie, obviously. I wore my secret sweater that whole weekend. This guy was doing riddles, Dota-themed riddles that he wrote himself that were actually incredible. They were like poems. He's a very good writer. My Nouns glasses. Yeah, so this was a massage place near my Airbnb, and it was open at like 11:30 p.m., so I think they're masturbating people. Why would a massage place be open, that late just randomly? Central Cinema, they had this floaty or, flailing tube guy, whatever you call them. Fantasy A is apparently he's like a local filmmaker and stuff. But I saw 2 movies at Central Cinema. I saw House, which is a very cool movie, and I saw Beetlejuice, which is also a pretty cool movie. But House is definitely my favorite of the 2. So you sit down and you can order food, and so you can see the napkins. They bring food to your table. So I got like fries and potato and hamburger. I don't even remember what I got. I got a milkshake, I think. I tried to get creme brulee, but they were out. There's the projector. And also they ask you for your information on the website, like your postal code and stuff, so they can give you your food. I don't know. They're just collecting personal information. And they don't allow like Canadian postal codes. So I couldn't actually order through their website like most people would. So I had to go out and tell him, "Hey, can I get this food?" And he had to come in and, bring it in. A little bit different than everybody else, but it's fine. Public Market has the fish market in it. So there was all these like vendors selling soaps and honeys and all this shit. But I was told to go to the fish market, so I did. A few people mentioned the fish market. So I went to Sound View Cafe. Had a good view. I was waiting on my sandwich for a good like 10 minutes, so kind of got bored, so I started taking these pictures. There's a Boat for sure. Just you can see the kind of where it went. Yeah, so I got a salmon sandwich with a Diet Coke. There it is. It was actually really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Thought I'm at the fish market, might as well get fish. Golden Age Collectibles. Got a picture with Michael Keaton. He was there dressed as Batman, so I got a picture with him. I got some random stuff there. I got a Dune graphic novel, some like Barbie merch, a Twin Peaks keychain. Yeah, so that's the Space Needle, which is like their version of the CN Tower. And in that video, you can see it's not much taller than just a normal apartment building. I was expecting it to be quite a bit bigger. Yeah, so I got my ticket. So I have a 15-minute window to get to the elevator and go up to the top. You like designate a time so they don't have just lineups and packed elevators, I guess.
Seattle Peninsula going into Elliott Harbor, which is named after Elliott. Then over on that side, there's a big white wall to get out of your way, and once it's out of the way, you'll get all of downtown Seattle. Over on your left, the big black building is Columbia Center, the tallest in the state of Washington, and you can tell because all the other buildings...
But yeah, this is the Space Needle. As you can see, it's not... I've been in hotels taller than this. I've been in, Ferris wheels taller than this. I had a kid from high school that, he would dunk, in basketball, and I think he was jumping higher than this. So, not super high, but it was cool. I get vertigo. I get dizzy sometimes, so I wasn't really up there for long. When I was taking these pictures, I was actually, like the selfies, I was getting dizzy. So it was like $40, and I spent like, I spent like 20 minutes just up there, and there's not much to do up there. It's not like there's a restaurant or anything cool to do. You kind of just go up and you look, and then it's like, okay, I guess I'm going. Oh yeah, so they had the outside rotated very slowly, and so I don't know the point of it. But people were sitting, like this woman, she's sitting on the glass, and her husband was taking a picture of her. I was like, damn, I couldn't do that. I was getting dizzy looking down through that glass at the ground. And yeah, so there's the ground from the very top. I don't know why I spun. I was oh my god, I was so dizzy after I did that.
How many times do you have to go up and down this elevator?
Usually around 40 to 60 times, roughly.
Well, we were not on the elevator all day. We rotate where we are every hour, which is nice.
Do you have any coworkers that are afraid of heights?
Not anymore.
So the Museum of Pop Culture, I didn't even know about this, but I saw it coming out of the Space Needle. So Science Fiction and Fantasy Hall of Fame, a lightsaber, a Lord of the Rings sword, and my favorite, Dune, Frank Herbert. This is the Shadow Mapes costume from David Lynch's Dune from '84, which is super cool. Dune's just one of my favorite things of all time, and it was cool to get to see this in person. That movie had extraordinary costume design, unlike the new one where it's absolutely abysmal. They had a hip hop section, history of hip hop with all the, tools that they used to make the music. There's some Kanye, college dropout era, backpack rapper, Tyler, J Dilla. Oh yeah, Nicki Minaj working at some restaurant when she was younger. A uniform that she wore, a costume she wore. Cardi B, and I think so Cardi B wore this somewhere. Megan Thee Stallion, MF Doom, The Legend, and his mask. Yeah, they had quite a bit of science fiction stuff. To those who have looked to the stars and wondered, sorry this is blurry, your journey begins here. I was taking these pictures as I was walking down the stairs, and there's people behind me, so I didn't want to stop. The Day the Earth Stood Still, that's the Robot Man or whatever. I honestly haven't seen that movie, but I should. I've heard good things about it. So the endoskeleton from Terminator 2, the leather jacket and, different body parts and the face mask. So that's all Terminator as well. Arrakis. So here's more Dune stuff. Giedi Prime. So these are planets within the Dune universe. And then they had items from the movie. The good one, obviously. Just different tools and weapons and stuff that they used in the movie. They have miniature stuff. So this Guild transporter ship from the movie. Spice Harvester and the iconic Sandworm. Some spooky stuff right there. Harkonnen Trooper's Rifle, or Harkonnen. I kind of flip-flop based on the day, just how I pronounce it, I don't know, Harkonnen. Yeah, and they also had this. It was like a villains thing, so they had the Baron and then General Zod from Man of Steel. What's his name? Michael Shannon, is that it? They also had a horror film little area. So this was a coffin, and so I stood in it. Athena, the zombie queen from Army of the Dead, one of the best movies of the past few years. I'm a huge Snyder fan. And this is a fantastic costume. This was so cool in the movie, and seeing it in person was just, you can see the reflection of my phone as I'm taking the video, but it was such a detailed and just very cool looking costume. So I love the red. It's a very iconic look, in my opinion. Jason, maybe my favorite slasher villain, I guess, anti-hero, I don't know what you would call it. They had a little fantasy section, all sorts of different things, as you'll see. They have Professor McGonagall from Harry Potter, the sorting hat. No, that's her hat. That's not the sorting hat, is it? I don't remember. Just random shit. Glasses worn by Danny Radcliffe himself. And then again, they have this kind of like thing where it's like, oh, we don't support J.K. Rowling's statements about the transgender community, but like Harry Potter is an important part of pop culture, so we're a museum of pop culture. There was a chair, so I sat in it. Lord of the Rings, some of the weapons from those movies, swords and that axe or whatever it's called. I used to work with him, actually, Gimli. World of Warcraft, I believe. It's like Dragon from Cataclysm. I don't know his name. I'm not big on WoW lore. Oh yeah, Batman Forever. That was a interesting little piece. I wasn't expecting that in the fantasy section. They also had this huge guitar sculpture, which was, and obviously you can see like there's a piano there or a little keyboard, but it was mostly guitars and bass guitars and stuff. A Mario painting on the wall. They also had these like recording booths, though the recording wasn't working, but you could go in, soundproof booths, you could pick up a guitar. They also had drum ones. I went in there and played the drums a little bit. That was fun. I kind of wish that you could record because I might have thrown something together, just a 1 minute song. They also had like lessons, like these screens where you could like do these like little lessons where it kind of taught you how to play simple things. There's a jam room. There was like 3 or 4 people in there actually jamming at one point, and they're pretty good. Somebody on drums, bass, keyboard, guitar, I think. There's 4 of them. So Leica, this is an extra $5 to get into this, but it's kind of like a behind-the-scenes look of the film company Leica, who kind of revolutionized stop-motion animation. So as you can see, they doubled the frames for stop-motion. They pioneered some 3D printing technology. I don't know if I included some other stuff, but they definitely did some other revolutionary stuff. So I think that's 3D printed stuff, a lot of it from the movie. The Pink Palace. I honestly haven't seen any Leica movie other than Kubo, and I haven't seen it since it came out, but I thought looking at all this made me want to go back and watch everything. So there's Kubo. That's the one I watched. I remember liking it like quite a bit. Monkey Beetle, Little Hanzo. These are the little puppet figures they had for the movie. I don't think they were the real ones that they actually used, but I'm not sure, honestly. The Moon Beast, which I thought was a cool name. It's got a cool look to it. I honestly don't even remember what the movie's about. I think it's like parents die or something. I think it's about grief. So they had this little screen set up, and there was a control stick, and they had a camera set up in this little miniature model hallway. It's a little model hallway, and you could move the camera around and switch which camera it was using and the angles. You can move it up and down. I think I might have took a picture of it. Nope, that's that's my grilled cheese. I like grilled cheese. I got a couple of them. So Purple Haze. So this is a Jimi Hendrix reference, who was born in Seattle. And there's a lot of Hendrix in Seattle. So there's the Purple Haze drink, which is actually really good. And they had a whole Hendrix section in the museum. So there's some random people coming in. There's my shadow. So this is a piece of guitar that Hendrix played and destroyed. And here's another little write-up. He smashed this guitar at the London Theatre, as that little sign just said. And this is an illustration that they believe Hendrix and his girlfriend Kathy, or Katie or whatever it was, that they drew. Here's his iconic hat from the Smash Hits album cover. And Electric Lady Studio is a very famous studio nowadays. Or it's well known, I guess, famous. And there's the machine, the actual mixing machine that they had. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of Hendrix throughout Seattle. Just paintings on walls, posters, signs, anywhere you go really, just on random doorways. And this was in a restaurant. Here's a statue that was vandalized, but kind of in a cool way. I don't like Nirvana. There's a Nirvana section. Sorry. A Nirvana section at the museum, and music is an art form that thrives on reinvention, said the bassist from Nirvana, the band that sounds like Pixies but bad. Pacific Science Center. So I came out of the pop culture and I saw this, but unfortunately they were closed. Science is for everyone, but not at any time. So I left, and I actually stumbled on the Climate Pledge Arena, which is where the second weekend of the International took place, which I thought was cool. So there it is. There's some murals of all the different heroes. You got Beastmaster, Medusa, Pangolier, Marana. I guess it's not murals, it's like stained glass style. That was the aesthetic. Tiny in all of his different stages. So yeah, a few days before it started, I stumbled on that. By the way, the seagulls in Seattle were massive. I don't know why they were so big, but they were so big. They're like twice the size as they are that I've seen in Canada, at least. Yeah, it was raining, so I guess I thought this would have looked cool. I guess it does. There's me. That's my hat. Yeah, so the next day I went to the Science Center, which is kind of like the Ontario Science Center near Toronto, but way smaller. So honestly, here's my review of Seattle. It's a smaller, it's kind of shittier Toronto. That's yeah, I wouldn't say kind of shitty. Or I won't be mean. It's a smaller in scale, less ambitious, less important. You know what? That's mean too. I'm not gonna say less important. Differently important. This is a little game. It's trying to teach gravity. So it's like you shoot this ball around the planets, and these planets have gravity. So you're trying to like take advantage of the gravity to get it in the little hole. And if you get it in the hole, you go to the next level. So you can see here, I'm kind of trying to adjust. Yeah. So how would you, when they're getting satellites out into space, they have to consider the gravity of Earth and its gravitational pull and kind of, line things up and shoot it. So the center one is a bunch of Earths and a Jupiter, and then that's a bunch of Jupiters and the sun. So I think there's like millions, like the sun is like millions of times bigger than Earth. But there's stars that are millions of times bigger than the sun. Like the sun's not a big star by any means. There's some like fruit flies. And this is the outside. So they had a lot of like water-based stuff. There's some dinos, a nice little fountain, a couple nice fountains, I guess. So you could shoot. They had this thing constantly streaming, and you could shoot these little things. And I was trying to get it to spin all the way around, but I don't think it would have. And they had this spinny wheel. You could go in and walk, and it would like tread the water underneath or something. I couldn't really get it to go that well. I kind of gave up. So this is a machine invented a long time ago to pull water up. So it's just a spiral, and as you spin it, it pulls up bit by bit, and you can see it splashing out every time rotation completes. So Grossology is like a kids book series that kind of, I guess, normalizes bodily functions. And they had facts in the restroom about, people all over the world drank their pee because they believe it's healthy. I wouldn't do that, but if you eat a lot of red beets, your pee will actually be colored red. An empty bladder looks like a shriveled up balloon or a prune that is about 3.5 inches wide. Yeah, so just cool facts, and it was just kind of all throughout the bathroom. Nobody else was in the bathroom at the time, so I was like, oh, I guess I'll take pictures. If somebody walks in, I'll stop taking pictures, because that would be weird if I was taking pictures and somebody else was in there. But yeah, no, it wasn't super busy. I went during the day, and it was a Wednesday. So it was me and like a few other families in the Science Center all together. And this was one of the bathrooms off to the side a bit, so yeah, it was just informative stuff, helpful illustrations, kind of showing. Apparently, it was considered a great honor to speak to King Louis XIV when he was on his toilet, which is messed up. So the Mod Pizza. So this was in like a Seattle Center or whatever it was called, near the Climate Pledge Arena. So I'm here a few times for food. Got a pizza and a pumpkin spice no-name cake, which was pretty good. There it is. I like sweet stuff, so wanted to give it a go. Got this nice picture. Is this nice couple or, friends, or I don't know what their relation was, but the impossible triangle. Looks like it's all together from one angle, but then you realize it's not. The classic body-altering mirrors. Pretty cool stuff. So this was you could roll the ball down, and each one is a certain note. So here is the default. And I wrote a song. Just add some chords at the end. Here it is from a different angle. It was actually really hard to get anything coherent written so that it would sound good. I tried to do Through the Fire and Flames and Hedwig's theme. They also had an IMAX theater in the Science Center, so I went to go see Deep Sky, which is a movie about the universe and some, the Bubble telescope, the one that came after that. It was about that and the construction of that. Also, Killers of the Flower Moon, a Scorsese movie starring DiCaprio, which if you told me Scorsese movie, I'm like, oh, whatever. DiCaprio, eh. But it was actually a pretty good movie. Here's the Talent Lounge at the hotel. You could see Cheever and Odie Pixel in them. And here's me hanging out with Jenkins in the hotel room with Suns fan. Here's us at dinner. So they were working on their game at the hotel room, and he brought his laptop and they worked on the game at the restaurant as well. And so here it is. They had all this stuff set up. This is where the players came in, I'm assuming. I actually wasn't ever there in time to see them come in. I always kind of tried to arrive right when the games were starting, because I didn't really want to get up that early, because we were up pretty late every night. Shopkeeper, there's my best friend Water Bottle and me taking a picture and as Ogre Magi together. You can see I'm pretty pumped to be there. That's a Amazon store, and you scan your credit card on the way in, and then you just walk out with stuff. It was super weird. It felt like I was stealing, but you basically don't check out.
Chin chopper.
Here's I wouldn't call it an opening ceremony. It was more of like a player introduction ceremony, which I guess opened the weekend, so I guess technically it was an opening ceremony. But it wasn't like, when you watch like League of Legends or Worlds or something, they have like this big, like an actual like ceremony. Yes, this is the view in the arena. They had the big screens up top. You could see what heroes were playing on the booths. This is the VIP lounge. There's the food from the VIP lounge. They had sliders, hot dogs, wedges, coleslaw. Seb, one of the greats, and No Tail, one of the other greats. Really nice guys. Talked to Seb for like 10-15 minutes. He was telling me his philosophy about how to put together a Dota team and how to have a good atmosphere on the team so, nobody feels like they're going to get kicked if they mess up, and how important it is to make people feel included and important on the team. Here's my breakfast on my birthday. Fruit Loops milkshake. I went as Ken. I went dressed as Ken on my birthday. It was also the grand finals day. Here's the after party. And see Gaming Gladiators in front of me. There's a fucking polar bear in the corner. Got a close up of that for sure. Yeah, there's multiple rooms to the after party. There's also Butterfield actually in the left there. No minors and no firearms in the after party, which I thought was cool. A Seattle dog, which was very good. Collapse, 2-time TI winner. IQ 2000 again. Eva Elfie, she is an adult film actress, so I think the picture just automatically got a bit blurry just for censorship a little bit. That album No Tail told me to listen to, and I haven't yet, sorry, but I'll get to it when I have time. Decaf? No, I'm a stay caffeinated. It's a little bit of a joke. Here's some other funny stuff. 66% of young adults did not use marijuana. Aegis Living, so Aegis is like an in-game Dota thing, so I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, so this was a guy had bonsai trees that apparently somebody was stealing, and so he put out these signs saying, hey, like, you took my bonsai trees, maybe you like them, maybe I can just like teach you how to grow them, and then you can just have your own. Here's my email address, and maybe just give them back. So I was just walking down the street and I just saw these signs and I thought, that's hilarious. Reward offered. Hey, if you give me back my property that you stole, I'll give you a reward. There's a chess set, a life-size chess set. There's a naked man statue. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but the seeds that you plant. I was about to say, so damn, I gave you a great ass. So a lot of really good advice just posted throughout the city. Also, America had flavors of things that we don't have in Canada. Strawberry Fairlife, a berry-flavored Liquid Death, and yeah, my Airbnb left some peanut butter Reese's on my way out, which was very nice. Halloween, so it was next to Halloween, I went to Seattle Airport to come back home. There's Jenkins in the airport, and here's a train that led me to my plane, my gate at the Seattle Airport. There's me and my neck pillow. And yeah, it's been, I think it was 12 or 13 days at this point that I had been gone. So I was ready to get home and just be back home and relax and get some sleep and rest. It was a very busy couple weeks. I was doing stuff nonstop. There's also this really weird noise. Picked up some breakfast. It was an overnight flight, so I was getting in early in the morning. A loaf and I don't even remember what that was. Looks good though. I would have it again. I remember it was good. I just don't remember what it was called. And when I got home, my little Susan was waiting for me. She had no idea where I had been for 2 weeks. And Riley at this point had been gone for a couple days. She went out to the East Coast, so she'd been alone. So I got back Monday and Riley left Friday. So she was alone for a few days. My mom went and checked on her, but I think she was very much looking for some company, some people to be around. That's what she does when she's excited. She likes to do her little flop, and I get down with her and I pet her. So my Seattle trip was awesome. Some lifetime memories, you know, things I'll remember forever. See, when she's really excited, she does that roll. She goes from side to side. See, and I'm putting up my finger, and she's like pulling her head up to rub against it. Oh, she was so excited to see somebody. Yeah, it was nice to finally go to a TI. I've been wanting to go for over 10 years. So wherever I went in the house, Susie followed me. This is me taking pictures of her just following me everywhere around the house. She was attached to me for like 3 or 4 days. Wherever I went, she went. She's a big girl. Big and long girl. Yeah, then I got some Dota 2 product keys for some treasures and exclusive items. I don't play Dota anymore. I haven't even had Steam installed for like a year. So I took a picture of the code. It's already used, so don't try to use it. Of this treasure, and then the commemorative badge had a scanny thing on it. So each player that got this badge in the finals weekend, you could get basically a $200 treasure they're going for on the market. So I gave both of these to my friend Matt. He plays Dota, and I didn't want it, so I just gave it to him. Thought might as well. And that was my entire Seattle trip.